Hello, everyone. We are going to discuss another focal area which would be focusing on your examination. That's the entrepreneurship and some another areas that I would be discussing with you. So that would be important again for you to focus for your examination. So as we have discussed many more things in your lecture series, so please make sure once I tell you what are the most focal areas. So again, you please make sure that you watch the videos what we've been doing through with the examination. So in this entrepreneurship lesson, I would be more focused in bringing you what is entrepreneurship. So you should be able to remember what is an entrepreneurship. So there are several definitions I've been given you when it comes to entrepreneurship. So let me bring you one by one. And because you would be having probably to write down what is an entrepreneurship is. So simply the entrepreneurship, as per one definition, it says the dynamic process of creating incremental wealth, because entrepreneurs are always looking at how to improve the wealth of the organization simply through profitability and the earnings. And this wealth is created by individuals who assume major risks in terms of equity, time, career commitment of providing value for a product or service. So simply it says what are the committed things that an entrepreneur would be taking up, what are the things that he would be committing in order to um, put up an entrepreneurial venture. And another definition that you can see is strategic thinking and risk-taking behavior. So of course, an entrepreneurship would be focusing on a strategic thinking and a risk-taking behavior. That is very much important for you to remember, because if entrepreneur is a person who would be bringing up a new thing in a new way, so that part is very integral for you to remember. Once he has a strategic thing, how to do things, what to do things, not in a common way, but in a different way. Maybe a product, you are coming up with a new product, or maybe you are coming up with the same product, but you would be changing the process of the product. Think about now I am designing something manually, right? So simply, let's assume a craft item. I would be doing a craft item and I'm designing it. And I would be coming up with a new mechanism, a new technology, how to do this craft item by taking hours and hours rather manually. I would be bringing up a simple machine that would be doing all the crafts very quickly with a very time-saving manner. So maybe the same product. So that's the uniqueness of an entrepreneur is he may be bringing up the same product, but in a different, innovated mechanism, or maybe bringing up with a new product that would be important to solve a problem which has not been solved. So that's for an example, simply need and a requirement, what a customer wants. And this one, of course, involves a lot of risk-taking behavior, so that you want to focus on that part as well. And that result in the creation of new opportunities for individuals and organizations. So therefore, it would be creating new opportunities, right? And another way that it is given as this is a dynamic process of vision, change, and creation, because you and entrepreneurs, they do have a proper vision and they are into change. As I told you, maybe a change of a product, change of a package, maybe a process, whatever, they would be introducing a change, and it is a creation. So that would be advantageous and it would be bringing more opportunities for the businesses. And this requires an application of energy and passion towards the creation and implementation of new ideas and creative solution. Because of this new passion, right, and the energy of these entrepreneurs, of course, it would be bringing new innovations and implementations and new creative solutions. So you can see three different definitions are there under what is entrepreneurship. So you would be able to bring up all these things together and focus on more important things and write down your definition. That's for an example. You can say entrepreneurship is a dynamic process, because you can see it is always highlighted in everywhere. What do you mean by dynamic process? Dynamic process means it is changing, right? Changing with the environment, changing with the time, changing with the requirement. It is a dynamic process. It is not a static, rigid process, right? You can change it as per the requirement. And so this is a dynamic process. It creates, you can say, the entrepreneurship is a dynamic process of focusing, vision, change, and creation. Focusing on incremental wealth, and which involves strategic thinking and risk-taking behavior that result in creation of new opportunities for businesses and organizations. So you can see this whole part you have to remember. But I told you, entrepreneurship is a dynamic process which focuses on vision, change, creation, and incremental wealth. Again, write down. So that would be easier for you to write down. Entrepreneurship is a dynamic process which focuses on, entrepreneurship is a dynamic process which focuses on vision, change, and creation, vision, change, creation, and incremental wealth, vision, change, creation, and incremental wealth, involving with strategic thinking and risk-taking behavior that result in creation of new opportunities for individuals and organizations. So this definition is important for you to remember what we are discussing under entrepreneurship. And again, I would like to bring you more focus on the different types of behaviors, right? Normally we call it as 3 types of entrepreneurship. So these are the 3 types of entrepreneurship what we discussed, and the lifestyle venture, smaller profit venture, and high growth venture. So I'm more interested with this part also when it comes to examinations. So let me bring you what simply these things would be bringing up. And you can see lifestyle venture is about small company that provides its owner independence, autonomy, and control. So lifestyle venture means if you do this as a first thing you want to highlight is align personal interests and hobbies with own desire to make a profit. Underline that word. Aligns personal interests and hobbies. Aligns personal interests and hobbies with own desire to make profits. So this is very, very important for you. Why? This is the way how this differentiate from the other ventures. You can see. So how this is differentiate from the other venture is because this is personal interests and hobbies are got together, and that combined in order to make a profit. So you can see in Sri Lanka also there are people who make cakes, and you can see that the what do you call, the wool bands like thing. So what they made like hair bands, wool bands, and maybe you are making birthday cards and greeting cards, and would be like making some handcraft jewelries, like, handcraft jewelries when it comes to not the gold items, of course, but with little beads that you can, these people are interested with these things, and making cakes, icing, and even sewing dresses. Maybe you do make in order to have a lifestyle. That lifestyle venture is that is your lifestyle, it is your hobby, it is your interest. You take it to a business in order to do probably doing makeup and all. That is your lifestyle, that is what you're interested with, right? So then you take it in order to make profits. So that part is very integral for you to remember, right? aligns personal interests and hobbies with own desire to make a profit. And then it provides you a flexibility because it is your own business. You know what to do, how to do things. No one is going to advise you what to do, how to do. If you want, you do it. If you're not, if you're sick and all, you may not be you can just stop it and not doing all these things all the time. And so it provides a lot of flexibility for you, and it is often run out of household and a small company that provides its honor, independence, autonomy, and control. Let me check you. That's what why the owner has more autonomy. The owner has more independent control as they want to bring you this business because no one is going to control you. Let's see whether we would be lifestyle venture. We'll see whether we would be able to find some examples for this thing, if that would be helpful for you to understand. No, I don't think that you would be able to find. So lifestyle venture entrepreneurship. We'll see. Okay. Okay, here it is a video. I'm not sure, but whether it explains, we'll see, we'll watch and see whether it explains what is a lifestyle venture, right? So we'll just get an idea what that is.
What does a lifestyle entrepreneur mean to you? Because I think a lot of people throw that word around, and to me, it's kind of like the opposite of the hustler who's working 60 hours a week. But I'd love to hear your thoughts on what that actually means.
It's, for me, it's simply building a business around my life. That's it. It's my wife and I, we have 4 kids, and as of this recording, they're 9, 11, 13, 15. It's funny, even, we talk about lifestyle. I'm filming this outside right in front of the pool, and I just hear one of my kids, my 13-year-old daughter just came on. She's like, "Hi, Dad." But it's being able to do that. It's building the business around my lifestyle. And it's just putting them first, putting them before money, putting them before my business. It doesn't mean I slack off. It doesn't mean I take naps all day. It's just I schedule my time around that. So I know they're all active in sports. So their days, right now it's 2:30 p.m. So as long as I'm home by 2:30, 3 o'clock, and then I've coached basketball and football and soccer, and I've coached all the sports, and I drive my kids carpooling from 3 till 9 o'clock every night. But that's it. Like, I know that's my time. So I get up earlier. I go to the coffee shop. I know you're into virtual teams. My whole team is virtual. I have my morning huddle with my main right-hand person, Kate, every morning to talk about all of our wins and all the big stuff.
So can you see, this is very clearly mentioning, because a lifestyle venture is about that he's an entrepreneur, he's doing a lifestyle business. So he says he's doing that with business. It's just like doing the business with business. So he would be looking into all the other activities. So it shows what? It shows the autonomy. It shows the freedom that the entrepreneur is having up with. So yeah, that's what I told. If he wants, he does. If he doesn't want, he doesn't want to do that. We'll watch further.
We can get into some of that. But no, okay, Dad's out of the house really early, but I'm home at 3, and then I'm all theirs. And that's it. And I used to travel a lot. Well, not a lot. Maybe once a month I would go speak at these big marketing events. And like 8 years ago, I just stopped. I said, that's it. I'm just not going to do it anymore. I walked away from a lot of money, but I'm okay with that, and you might have to make some sacrifices, but you have to be okay with it. And I get the whole hustle and grind and all that stuff, but I also don't think it's healthy.
Right.
Your body needs to recover. Like, you need recovery, and using the whole "I grinded 17 hours a day" as a badge of courage, as a badge of honor. Like, oh my God, look how I think it does the opposite. You're better off having 1 or 2 hours of really, really super productive, focused, just shutting everything off time than 18 hours and staying up till 3 o'clock in the morning. I did all the customer support. I did everything. And I'm like, this is just not the most efficient use of my time.
Right.
At that time, I went on
You can see it. He very clearly explains that the business goes with his business. That's what it calls as lifestyle venture. You see? There's nothing that they do not make, they do not get stick in this business. And there are some the people who are doing shops and all this stick in the business, and they do the business only. They even have no time to go for a trip. They do not have even to go time to the on kids' weddings. So like this, the people do not want to close the shops at least for a funeral, because that's what you call, it is not lifestyle venture. Lifestyle venture is about while you are doing your lifestyle normal in a way, you take your interests, take your hobbies in order to get advantages, in order to make profits. So that's what it says. It run out of household, it provides flexibility, all the control, independence, autonomy that you would be getting up with. So I believe that that video is very clear for you, is explaining what's this venture. So you would be able to briefly explain what are these kind of businesses. So probably if you can give an example for a lifestyle venture, giving a small description, this kind of a thing, is that would be more great for you to earn more marks. Then I know that you are aware of what a lifestyle business is. And what do you mean by small profit venture? The small profit ventures are not focused on, it's not concentrated on earning a lot of millions of money like Tesla, and like what do you call this Lamborghini and all. They do not want millions of dollars. Just they need some money to have a decent living, right? So smaller profit venture is about that slowly that no most of the times you are focusing up with the smaller profit ventures, that these small businesses, as I told you, they want to earn profits, they want to earn money in order to have a decent living, right? So it would not be always the lifestyle interests and hobbies that you are doing with, right? It may be something else, but you would be focusing on how to grow literally, right? How to little by little, how you are growing your businesses. So that's what it's a small company, not concentrated on pushing the envelope and growing in orderly large. So you don't want to be, you do not expect that you want to have a very large business. So all the shops which are nearby your house, not the if your nearby stall is a supermarket, I'm not talking about the supermarket, I'm just talking about small boutiques, like, so they're around things. And so that's what we call a smaller profit venture. So they earn profits and they set up. So probably you may have seen some organizations from your childhood up to now, they have the same business throughout. You don't see any very huge success unless they do smuggling and do selling drugs and all. There are some businesses we have seen very suddenly they have grown, but we have no idea how that has been grown up. If it is suddenly grown, of course, we have to find and see what has happened. But smaller profit ventures are not about suddenly growing. You may not be able to probably see huge growth, but little by little it grows, right? These organizations, smaller profit venture organization, they expect a decent living. So you should be able to write an example also as per your knowledge, as per your experience. So that would be able to give you more marks. And the other one is high growth ventures. High growth ventures are the entrepreneurial types that we are talking about. They always focus on maximum profit and growth, right? So if you see, Tesla, all these things are, we are not talking about small businesses, right? We are talking about entrepreneurship. Entrepreneurship either can be large scale or small scale, right? Can be either large scale or small scale. There are some businesses, they always focus on high growth, maximum profit. So what they would be focusing on, always focus on innovation, what to do, how to do things. Let me show you what Tesla car, right? So if you go to Tesla car, what they are bringing up always the new models, right? New, let me show you the technology, explain how they explain the technology. you can see once you watch into this vehicle, what a kind of a technology that they are adapting up with, right? So I will show you a little part of that one. So it normally these vehicles, they let's by honor. So what they are always focusing on, how to bring new ways, new innovation. Now Tesla is a very new vehicle, it provides a lot of different features. Let me show you this video clip and you may get an understanding what kind of a vehicle that I'm talking about. You can see it's a well sophisticated and self-driving technology. You can see now in Sri Lanka also we can see Tesla vehicles, but different modes of Tesla vehicles are there that you do not want to. There are some very expensive Tesla vehicles and not. There are some other Tesla vehicles we can purchase a Tesla vehicle from, I believe, as I know, from 20 millions upwards you can buy Tesla vehicles to very high luxury Tesla vehicles. So likewise, you can see this shows how self-driving is done, right? So this is a kind of a new technology that they have been introduced with, and all the other technologies that they are bringing up is really, really unique, right? So when it comes to this unique, let me show you a little bit of this factory with the
Hey, what is up guys, I'm KBHD here, and welcome to the sequel to the previous video, so the part. It's actually probably just like 15 into his next meeting, but I still thought it was a ton of fun and worth sharing. And also, I should mention this entire video, feel free.
Okay, yeah. So it's gonna pick it up and transfer it to the other robot.
Yeah.
But I think like like a design improvement we should do is like really just the one robot should just pass it to the other robot.
Just pick it up.
Yeah.
Oh,
like,
there's a third one above us.
Yeah, it's like it puts it on a table. The table rotates. It's like if we did this over, we would just have that giant robot pass it to that giant robot.
Fair.
Yeah.
Handoff.
Yeah. There's like thousands of like little things like that help improve production. General Assembly kind of operates in kind of a U, so it goes, cars come in over there, go all the way down here, and then all the way that way.
Okay.
And you can see the car get progressively more complex as it goes down the General Assembly line.
What does it look like when it starts this side of the assembly line?
Oh, we can go there. Can we go there?
Let's do it.
Should we start there? Start at the beginning?
Yeah,
or?
might as well.
But here you can get a good sense for, there's like General Assembly is what I was talking about as being really well suited to people.
Okay.
Because you got a lot of weird things that you got to put together. Like, look at some of these, assemblies that like it's pretty hard for a robot to like connect this on.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Now, if you can see, now he's always talking about how he has been used this robots in order to use for his business, how it's been successful with this business. So these are high growth ventures, entrepreneurial ventures. They focus on always innovation, how to bring up innovative technology, new things. And probably it may not be always a large scale businesses, even you focus on innovation, maybe a small thing. Think about Munchie. If you look into the Munchie, they always focus on high profit and growth. So they come up with innovation, but sometimes these innovations are not really working. Once we taste some Munchie biscuits, it's not very horrible biscuits are there. Also, very recently also I tasted a very horrible biscuits from Munchie. Innovation should be always focus on customer satisfaction, what customer requirements are, right? So if you are, that's for an example, I cannot remember what the biscuit is, but it is a chocolate biscuit inside a strawberry flavor. This cream is there. The people that they're in doing these innovations, they have to understand the normally elderly people, they do not want to taste this strawberry cream and all the small little kids, especially girls, once they see pink color, they purchase this one. But the biscuit, when the biscuit is horribly dark flavored, right? So it is very bitter like. So the people would not be purchasing that one again, that biscuit. So likewise, innovations should be focused on customer satisfaction. So high growth ventures are another type of ventures that we are talking about when it comes to these types of three businesses. So they always concentrated on growing large as possible, how to make this business more larger and more larger. So that's what. So these are the things that I would like to bring your attention when it comes to entrepreneurship lesson with your examination questions. And the next one would be moving up with how you are focusing on the other one. Let me keep, okay. We are done with this one. And you have to focus on what are the challenges and that you will be having to focus on when it comes to exams, small businesses, right? So it is very much important that you want to focus on what are the kind of challenges that the small businesses has to face on. So you would be having to explain in terms of like different types, maybe what is the challenge for finding finance? What is the challenge for finding market competition? What is the challenge when it comes to technology, customer satisfaction? And so likewise, in different ways, you would be having to explain on what are the challenges that a small business would be focusing on. So particularly when it comes to Sri Lanka, I showed you this video. Let me show you this one again. The huge challenges that the Sri Lanka is expecting. Watch this one. So I told you the videos that I would be showing in this seminar series is not to give you more in-depth ideas, but to be more focused on examination. These are more important for your examples. That's what I'm showing you this one. So then whenever you get a quite similar questions, so you would remember, okay, this is the way how we are going to write our what do you call examples through this one. Also, I can be supportive. So this is, I'm showing you what are the challenges for small businesses when it comes to Sri Lanka.
More than 40 years, fishing has been a way of life for Arulanandan Geetha Pongalan. Today, he's struggling to survive.
This one, actually, I've been showing this one, this video I've been showing you with the lectures also when I was explaining. The videos that I've been taking again and showing you repeating in the seminar series means they are really important. Maybe for example, maybe for a write-up, okay?
It was 70 rupees a.
You have to try to understand what are the these fishermen that they are facing as small scale businesses and the other businesses watch, right? I will be showing you some fishermen and farmers. You should be able to clearly identify and recognize these different types of small scale businesses, how they are facing different difficulties, challenges, and should be able to more focus when you are writing your answers also.
Liter. Now it's more than 4 times that. The price of nets have also gone up and they don't last as long. Things are very difficult.
Fishermen across the country are facing the same struggle. If they don't land a proper catch, they can't cover their costs. Debts are mounting. Sri Lanka's worst economic crisis in memory left the country bankrupt, unable to pay for basic essentials like food, medicine and fuel. Agriculture is the other main earner in the former war zone. But Sinnappa Marianagam is not finding it easy. We met him drying his paddy before the rain set in. Once comfortably off, he's trying desperately to survive.
We don't have fertilizers or chemicals. They are too expensive and subsidies have been stopped. So costs are high and the yield is low. Hired labor and damage from recent floods have increased the cost. The government isn't buying paddy and the middlemen come and offer very low prices.
Farmers are coping with multiple hits, including a shortage of fertilizer.
Now you can see now the very clear challenges that he has been explained. What fertilizers are explained, intermediary problems. Watch that one, listen that one again very carefully. So because these are important, right?
Or chemicals, they are too expensive and subsidies have been stopped. So costs are high and the yield is low. Hired labor and damage from recent floods have increased the cost. The government isn't buying paddy and the middlemen come and offer very low prices.
Farmers are coping with multiple hits, including a shortage of fertilizer and agrochemicals following a ban by the former president, since reversed. Fertilizer prices have swung wildly between $1 and $100 per 50-kilo bag. President Ranil Wickremesinghe met farmers in northern Kilinochchi on Sunday and promised the government would start buying from them at a fixed price from next week. But some economists say the government's handling of the crisis, including implementing IMF conditions, has been disastrous.
We have been market pricing energy. We've devalued the rupee. Our interest rates went up from 6% to 15.5%. And austerity measures by the government. We are seeing so many SMEs collapse in the country as well as in the north. And SMEs are the backbone of the economy because nobody can survive on such high interest rates for working capital and credit.
Communities like this are facing the worst effects of Sri Lanka's economic crisis and skyrocketing global prices. They're struggling to survive and say government claims of better times ahead sound like empty promises. Minel Fernandez, Al Jazeera, Palali in northern Sri Lanka.
So you can say, what are the challenges that Sri Lankan small businesses are facing with, right? So there are several areas that we've been showing you with. So you should be able to explain these challenges in terms of different ways. Once they want to finance, what are the difficulties that they want to that they are facing up with? Technology, customer acquiring, satisfaction, marketing things. And so when it comes to competition, how each area would be challenged up with, right? So that's for an example you can see. Let me bring you the challenges, that the day-to-day challenges of a growing firm. So I was talking about, so simply when it comes to think about this financial, I actually am not particularly only with this one. I have told you in many more ways what are the challenges that you want to focus on when it comes to small businesses, right? So think about, we are talking about finance, right? What are the challenges that the small scale, write down all the notes that you want, because we have discussed all these things in several places in lecture notes, right? Several places in lecture notes, but particularly I am bringing you several aspects that you want to focus on exams. So then that would be easier for you to more focus on these areas, right? Think about finance. What are the problems that a small scale business has to face when it comes to financing? When it comes to Sri Lanka, the basic thing is getting the loan facilities. Interests are really high, and the prices are really high. Taxes are really high, right? So all these things comes as a financial problem for the small scale businesses. So then that one you have to explain. So in different lessons, in different aspects, I have been discussing with about this problem. So here also I could remember when it comes to the first lesson, let me bring you that one. First lesson here, first one, what do you call the introduction one? Also, I told you what are the problems that normally the small scale businesses are facing up with in this one as well. So you should be able to bring up all these things, right, in different ways. So let me show you here, challenges of small scale businesses. When it comes to challenges of small scale businesses, the only thing we have been discussing the notes in different times in different ways. You should be able to write and mix up all together and write very clearly. That's for an example. If I ask you how a small scale business would be challenging up with financial issues, how you are going to write it? How? Acquiring sufficient capital. right? So there you can go to bank loans would not be possible as interest rates are high, and as the most of the small scale businesses are starting up as independent businesses. So you would not be able to get attracted with a lot of investors. And as you are not established in the market, you have no proper write down all these things. I'm not again telling you. And that would be important again for you to remember, as you have not established in the market properly. So you want to focus on more on how to gain more investments. It is very difficult. Normally, for an established organization, anyone would be giving you what do you call this money, right? Someone asks, if the Banchi company will ask you and ask some money to invest, would you not be doing that? You do that because you know definitely the returns would be higher. But when it comes to these small scale businesses, people would not love to do this one. And so a lot of investment problems or financial problems would be happening up when it comes to the small scale businesses. And think about, let's say, how this marketing adoption, how the technology adoption would be coming up with. What is the problem? It is a huge problem that as you do not have sufficient capital and most appropriate technology, you would not be able to support with. So that is a problem, right? And you would not be able to support with the existing technologies that would be able to, what do you call, capitalize your products over the competitors. Another thing, it would be like that you want to focus when it comes to businesses, that we are focusing on high technological products, which goes with technology. You may have to learn about new technological advancements, and you need to know about the obsolete technologies. What do you mean obsolete technologies? Kalpana. කල්ලිවත් වගේ දැන් ස්මාර්ට්ෆෝන් වලගේ ෆෝන් එකේ ඔතේ තියෙන ඔබන ඒවා දැනට it's obsolete. ඔබන button press කරන phones නෑනේ. You have smartphones. So the button pressing phone is an obsolete product. So like us, the technological adoption, the first initial problem is they suffer with lack of skillful employees to who know about these different kind of new technologies, and insufficient capital in order to get good technology, and the less knowledge about this technology. So these are main problems that you are focusing up with. And think about how when you are coming to market. So I would be showing you that video again, but I have shown you in the lectures also. Think about capturing market and the customers. In one of these videos, he said he's into a beauty salon. He says the biggest challenge is satisfying the customers, because the customer requirements are changing time to time. So if you do the same thing forever, you would not be able to successful. So that is why most of the organization that they've been failed in the business, because they do not know how to do a business in a dynamic environment, a changing environment. You have to change your requirements. You have to change your resources. So that is really important, and you have to focus on how to gain customer satisfaction, because customers are always comparing the prices and the quality against the other competitors, right? So once they seek that your prices are really high but the quality is less than the competitors, the customers would not be satisfied for you to come with, but instead they would be more into moving into another business, right? So that you would be losing your customers. So that is another problem that you have to focus on when it comes to this small scale businesses, because you have no proper established brand. When you have no proper established brand, it is always possible to come up with negative comments from the customers, because the customers, once they do not know, so a lot of problems may happen, right? So what are the challenges that you have to focus with when it comes to market and customer satisfaction? As the brand is not properly established, the customers would be bringing up with more complaints and negative comments and spread bad word of mouth. And it's very difficult to establish in a competitive industry if you are a small scale business. And there are a lot of things, right? You have to focus on when it comes to market problems, the problems in coping up with customer satisfaction, customer requirements. Again, it would be problematic. So likewise, and you may not be able to now, if you go into this one, serving well-defined market, the organization may not be able to understand what the customer requirements are properly. If you are lacking up with how to segment and target the market, you will not know what requirements really the customers would be preferring up with. You will just say, I'm going to introduce a whitening cream, but you would not be able to find out when you're offering this whitening cream, what are the things these customers would be looking at. Whether they look at whether this is particularly specifically designed for young ones, elderly ones, what would be the skin tone, skin color, a lot of problems, and skin, sensitive skin, whatever, dry skin, a lot of skin types. So the people would be specifically look into this one. So that is why even when a shampoo comes, cream comes, it says specifically for dry skin, sensitive skin, oily skin. So likewise, why? Very specifically, you have to define the market. Once as the small scale businesses have less knowledge about these things, probably they would not be able to properly define the market. Once they are not in a position to properly define the market, that again would be a huge problem. As well as you want to look into how this market finance sides, and you may want to look into, as I told you, the competition side. So how the marketing competition would be when you are into small scale businesses, the large scale businesses, and the multinational businesses, they are coming up with low price product because of the economies of scale. So this is a huge problem to compete in the competition, a huge challenge, right? Huge challenge that once the businesses do not have economies of scale, I taught you what economies of scale also, because once the large scale organizations, they earn more and more profits through these economies of scales, these are the small scale businesses would not be able to gain economies of scale as they produce in a smaller quantity. But the large scale businesses, they do produce in a large quantity. So they get a lot of economies of scale, as I told you, when discounts. If you purchase raw materials, from millions rupees, so you would be getting discounts from your suppliers. But once you purchase as a small scale business for 10,000 rupees, you would not be able to get a discount. So a lot of discounts and a lot of the other privileges. And even once we pay for rentals, lease, so it would be same. The lease would be 20,000 for the building, even you manufacture 10,000 quantity units, or even you manufacture 1 lakh units of quantity. So that is important that you want to focus in. The one major challenge is why they are not in a position to face for the competition is these economies of scale that the large scale businesses are coming up with. So therefore, large scale businesses, they can sell products for a lower cost, right? They can introduce product at a lower cost for the market, while the small scale businesses, they would not be able to give the products to a market for a lower cost, and the quality also would not be very good if you are going to give the product for a lowest cost. So these problems are really problematic to survive in the competition, right? So what I'm telling you, you have to take your own notes, because I told you many times the things, every word that I would be using in seminars would be important for your examination. So it is your responsibility. Now, I have discussed all these factors in different places. Like if I ask you, what are the challenges for small scale businesses in finance, marketing, competition, customer satisfaction? So likewise, I have told you in many different times in different places in lectures. But here what I'm doing is I'm putting all these things into one and I'm explaining that one. So if you believe it is very difficult for you to go to the lectures and to bring up all these things, so you can listen right now and you can write your own note. So let me show you again the video that I would be showing you up. That's about different businesses, right? Different small scale businesses have different challenges. That is important, right? You see, the dog's washer has a different challenge. The shoemaker has a different challenge. Look into and listen. It's very interesting. What are the challenges that they are bringing? Even you could see when it comes to Sri Lankan examples, they told the farmers having different things, fishermen having different problems. So different challenges. So if you can bring an example, that's for an example, you write how the financing problems, how the market competition problems, right? Competition problems. So you can write simply a small scale business into, let's say, biscuit manufacturing. So the economies of scale would be getting up with large scale. So likewise, try to bring, when you are asked to explain things, please make sure you are more aware about writing, bringing up at least one examples with a one sentence would be sufficient for you to explain this one, right? It doesn't take much time for you to write down. So let us watch again this video. It's really important. The challenges, let me switch off my video and show you this one. The challenges that the small scale businesses are focusing with, right? So different businesses are having up with different challenges. Look into that so you would be able to bring it to your examples also when you are writing. So because different people, they come up with different challenges. So if it is, some people say about finance, some people say about customer satisfaction, some people say about market competition. So likewise, now if you take into this one, the video, if you have watched the lecture series, there is no problem. Of course, you may remember the video, but you see, when it comes to Uber services, right? Uber services say it is about the taxi driver is talking about the market competition, right? Because a lot of competitors have been come across because the entrance is easy. When the business entrance is not easy, think about gas cylinders and all, and electricity. Likewise, the main sources of these energy sources, it's not easy to enter to such a business, right? So when the entrance is easy for the market, the competition, of course, is high. So even if you take fair, Sunday fair, if you go to buy vegetables, different places have different vegetables, but most of the time maybe same price or maybe little with changes. Huge competition. So it matters with the quality and the time that the customers had to spend. That is why most of the time, once we entered the Sunday market, the entrance point is little probably expensive than the corner areas of the fairs. Why? Because it takes time for the customers to go to the corner areas and purchase. So likewise, once the competition would be there, the businesses would be looking at each and every aspect. What are the things that we have to focus on, like customer, how much customer needs to spend time, money, and what is the quality and what is the quantity that would be able to purchase. Look at how the different businesses are explaining their different challenges.
There's not so many big challenges, I reckon. Probably, to be honest, social media.
Keeping up to date with clients, what they want, all the different things, and maybe just keeping up to date with trends and that kind of stuff.
The biggest challenge to get a right stuff as a chef or as front of house, to get a quality stuff is really hard.
Making money. Biggest challenge is keeping the customers happy.
I'd have to say just knowing where to take my business next.
Oh, our biggest challenge now is little Uber cars picking up people and they ruin all our business.
I was just going to say, finding that differential between being a couple and having that family time, then also working on a successful business.
We do wholesale, we do retail, we have the shop. So there's lots to juggle and to kind of, you know, get that right balance, as Paul said.
At the moment, we only opened on Christmas Eve, so the challenges have been trying to get the business up and running. This morning I'm a bit sweaty, I've been lugging around furniture, and just as you walked in I was about to put my logo onto the website. So it's juggling everything that's happening at the moment.
I guess getting enough employees to keep up with the demand, which is great. So, and just, I don't know, keeping it consistent, which is awesome.
The biggest challenges is probably the economy, such as the American dollar and all the different tariffs involved in importing a lot of the goods that we bring in.
Our biggest challenge is always making enough beer and meeting customer demand, really.
Biggest challenges at the moment is finding skilled handbag makers, finding good workers. That's a big challenge at the moment, and also sourcing certain materials. That's one of our biggest challenges as well. Yes.
So you can see when it comes to these different types of businesses, they are bringing up with different challenges. So if you could put this one into what you call into your examples, so that would be very much important when you're writing your exams. So what are these different challenges? So I was showing you up with this one, 7 business challenges to start a business also. So this would be explaining how the finance problems and all these things would be coming up with. We'll have a quick run with that video. Please make sure the notes that you would be wanting is...
A business can be a challenge to any entrepreneur. When you run a business, you don't expect get profit immediately. You have to work hard for it. The problem with beginners is that they fail to visualize some of the most challenging areas of having a business. What they usually see is all dollars to profit. In this video, we are sharing 7 biggest challenges you need to face when you start a business. Number 1. I'm not worthy to be an entrepreneur. Confidence is the very first step to success. If you do not have this, then do not expect to succeed. Anyone can be a successful
So basically, I just want to more focus on this one, right? So the first one that they were explaining about in this video is once you are focused only on profitability, probably you would not be able to gain profits. Why? When you focus only on profitability, your quality, the product quality would go down. That would affect the customer satisfaction, and you would not be able to stay in the market competition in a proper way. There is a one problem. And the other one is when you don't have, now here it says the confidence. Then if you do not have this confidence, you do not gain the success, in the sense when you do not have the know-how, how to, what you call here, know-how. You don't know how to do things, right? When you do not know how to do things, of course, you don't have a proper confidence to do the business. So then again, this would be problematic, how we are going to do things, right? So specifically now in this is the last seminar that I would be bringing you. So I have got very good comments from the students that you got almost all the notes very clearly and precisely from many more students. Thank you very much. I'm taking this time to thank them, saying that thank you very much for everyone who have sent me, and there are some students who requested books, and also I have already distributed. And the other thing is basically what the comments that you have given up, the way that you have got all the things very clearly and all. So thank you very much for all the students who have sent me all these private messages, personal messages as well. So thanking for all these lectures. I really see that is a gratitude tribute that you have been showing you for the teachers whom you have been learned with. And again, at the last moment, I would like to remember several things. Please make sure that you remind all these things when you are writing your examination. In this 6 series of seminar, I have very clearly explained in you what are the most focal areas and the more focused areas for the examination. The videos I have shown you during these seminars are really important for your examination, that you want to really remember that thing, right? And I have shown you some videos and I ask you to write down your notes for that. Please make sure you do that, because when it comes to teaching method, maybe through videos, maybe through audios, right? Maybe through these slides, notes, different types that we are using in order to teach you. So that thing you have to remember. So make your own notes, prepare your own notes and study and come. So if a student is struggling to focus more on lectures, still you can watch only the the seminar series. As I told you that this would be very important for your exams and most focal points of the examinations. So once you listen to these seminars, you can see for some lessons we have taken 3 hours like to explain, right? So within half an hour, within an hour for the seminars, I'm not going to tell you I have no time to explain all the details. So actually this 6 seminar series you have been given from the external unit because then it would be more easier for you to more focus on. So that is why I didn't do any past papers, because no point of doing any past papers. I'm not going to test any question from your past papers, or rather you don't want to study the past papers. Just look into the areas what I have told you here, right? That's sufficient for you to write down your answers. If you are more focused on the seminar series as the lecture aspects, and go to the lectures and watch these videos and have a very clear idea on what we've been discussing with. And again, I'm reminding you, so other than to these things, so when you're writing your examination papers, make sure you are writing very properly your student index number, because the same number would be coming for 2 years. That's for an example, 2015 number 5, 2015 number 5, 2011 number 5. Likewise, there are some repeat students as well. So therefore, if you are writing your number mistakenly, or maybe if you are just writing your number, that would be real problematic for the markers. They would be mixed up with your question index numbers. So make sure that you're more focused on the way how you write your exam numbers, and write down your answers very clearly. That is the most important thing. When you are writing your answers, your handwriting should be very specifically clear. If it is not clear, even how much knowledge you have, how much well you written with your papers, it would be very difficult for you to get a good grade. Why? If you cannot read, how we are going to give you marks? So that is a very problematic thing. The other thing is that I want to focus is that when you are writing your papers, you would be given sufficient number of papers, right? As much as you ask papers, you would be given. So please make sure you do not compress all the information to a 1 page or 2 page. So likewise, do not compress. Take space nicely. Start your question, a new question number with a new page, and more focus on the cleanliness of your paper, because some students I have seen, they spent a lot of time to write the question part 1, and as they cannot write the question part number 2, they cut the whole thing and write another one, right? So why you are spending unnecessary time to do all these things? So select the questions that you really can write well, and first initially select that one, then it would be supportive for you to write down the questions. So it is important, and write to provide proper answer scripts. So at the end also, I want to remind you this seminar series more important for you to bring to a focal point, to a more focused area. What are the questions that we are discussing under this subject? So write down all the notes from the videos and write down your own notes, and come to your examination with a proper preparation. And so you would not be able to get a fail, of course, because we are not planning to fail you, right? We want you to get a pass. And of course, when you get a pass only, that would be easier for us also. Otherwise, we have to mark your papers in next year also. That would be troublesome for us also. So make sure you are writing your papers very precisely, because I believe if you are not in a position to write your question paper this time, as I have given you all the things through these seminars, you would never be able to get a pass in coming years, because this thing, in this time, I have been more focused on the question areas, right? So the things I have covered all the syllabus, and through this syllabus also I have particularly selected several topics and several lessons. You can see that, right, when it comes to seminars. So make sure you more focus on these seminar series sessions, lectures and notes. Then it would be more supportive for you to spend more time on the areas what we have discussed on the seminar series, and to study more on the things, more focused exam questions. So I wish you very all the best from all my heart to write a very good examination. And if you need the books and all, so you can still contact me. I have given you my phone number, so you can send me a simple WhatsApp message, because I'm not answering unknown calls anyway. So then I can make arrangements what we can do with that. And make sure you study well and come for the examination. And I wish you very all the best and success for your examination, not only for my subject, but with all the subjects. So then thank you very much. Just be ready with your lectures and the seminar series. When it comes to seminars, again, I'm repeating you, the seminar series sessions, you want to more focus on your lecture series as well. So thank you very much, and wish you very all the best for your examinations. So have a nice day. Thank you.